Yeah, it's like a tide run, man. You see, we're just checking out the market statistics, and generally in Columbus, I think any given time, we only have like a month of inventory. It's been that way for a long time. And I'm curious as to, so our data is always like 30 days behind. So we know what the data is going to hold for the month of July, but like something changed in July. And we're looking at the number of active listings in the market right now. There's 3,500, and we just haven't seen over 3,000 for a while. So at 3,500 this month, that tells me something's up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, I'm definitely seeing it with just being out with clients, but also we were looking at data from May, and year over year, the active, or the homes that came for sale was up, almost 30%. So this was bound to happen at some point. I didn't, we'll see kind of how it plays out the rest of the summer. If it's just maybe a summer thing, if it's just everybody's on pause because of maybe the election stuff, maybe the economy, maybe vacation. But if this is a trend that's going to continue, then, this is gonna be a good thing for buyers, sellers. You're still, a great home is still gonna sell. You're still gonna get top dollar, but I think maybe the playing field will start to level out, and something you haven't seen probably in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that is all good news, because like June, I don't know what you guys saw, but June was probably one of our tougher months in the last couple of years. May is always our worst month as far as the mortgage side of things. And I went back a couple years, and the data always shows that May is our lowest month, even compared to January and December. So it's so nice to have contracts starting to roll in, people getting excited again. It's been so long since we've had this, and a lot of the anxiety and stress has gone away. So rates have not changed. They honestly have not changed that much. And let me see here. According to Google, and this is usually my barometer that I use, Google is saying that the mortgage rates across the country, all lenders, all primary home buyers, owner occupied, is 7.54%. So it's not, this number has not changed in like 4 weeks. It's been this number for a long time. So even despite rates not moving, you are seeing more people just getting accustomed to what the market is right now. And I think our barometers, our set points are all changing. So are you seeing sentiments changing as far as the people you're showing listings and buyers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the conversation I had yesterday, I had a couple of listing appointments yesterday, and I think, one seller kind of thought the market was one way, and the other one kind of was in tune what was going on because some things have been going on in their neighborhood. So really that conversation has changed to like, hey, we really have to be strategic with our pricing, with our marketing, with our timing of things. And it was actually refreshing because I felt like the sellers were like, what do I need to do? Wasn't just like, hey, hey, this is going to be easy. Like, it wasn't any of that. It was more just like, we need to do this and we need to be aggressive with it. And like, you tell us. So that was cool from a seller side. Then buyers, I think, at least for our buyers, like we've been getting a little bit more on the credit side of things, better terms. So I think everybody's winning, which would be nice. A balanced market would be good.
Yes.
Yeah, the same experience, Brad. It's like past few listings we've put up, they really they're not confident at the price anymore. And they were very open to, suggestible pricing and what we have to actually do to get the home to market and to procure them the price. So it's just not the days of throwing up a sign in the yard and, hey, it's going to sell and it's going to sell high. You've got more competition out there with more inventory, and therefore you need to put your best foot forward, and you better be, accurately priced. The market always sniffs out when you're not. And even this morning, like I had a client buyer, she sent me over a Worthington house, and we've been looking at Worthington, and we know Worthington is extremely competitive. But it was like it's been on the market 9 days, and we were both like, wonder what's going on with that. So, yeah, things are softening. It was a nice house, great neighborhood. So things are softening up a little bit.
Ryan, what are you seeing on your end with stuff coming in? Are you seeing more creative offers being writ? More contingent, or not contingencies, more concessions being done, or what have you been hearing on your side of things?
I'm seeing, so like half of my offers that I have in contract right now are contingent deals, which rewind 2 years ago, that would have never been the case. Like for a while now, buyers have been put over a barrel. And now I'm starting to see to where there's back and forth play within the negotiations, so it's fair and equitable for everyone. So I think either sellers are getting a rude awakening, or the agents that are out there that are doing a good job kind of priming the pump, letting them know what's going on. I also think that we are pulling out of the quality of the inventory being bottom of the barrel, bad flippers throwing just garbage on the market, and hoping it passes. I'm seeing that the quality of the inventory, the houses are in better shape, or the offers are reflecting the house needs some work. So, Brad, to answer your question, I think a lot of metrics that I'm seeing on my side are improving, and it's getting easier for buyers, which is fantastic. And sellers can't get the sun, moon, and stars. But I still think that despite that, we're still going to see property value appreciation, because people still need more housing.
For sure. I mean, I think I saw that oh, sorry, go ahead, Oliver. Go ahead.
After you.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't want to switch gears here, but like, I also feel like we're about to enter into the wild, wild west with, buyer compensation agreements being in place up front. So now we are getting buyer compensation agreements up front with our buyers. Sellers, as of August this year, will no longer, it's not that they were required to pay buyers compensation, but we did advertise that in the MLS. That goes away. Everything becomes really negotiable. And to work with a buyer's agent, you better, have a good plan in place, because it's not like the sellers always maybe pay to work with your agent. And so therefore you need to work something out with your agent that works for both sides. So it's definitely going to be weird. Like, we're putting up a listing this week, and they instructed me no buyer side compensation. And that's the first time I'm ever going to do that. And I kind of interested in the exercise and see how the market reacts when we put that listing up.
Well, I think it'll be interesting because, if we start to get more inventory and days on market get a little bit larger, if people aren't going to offer comp, what is that? Does it really have an effect, or does it not? If it does not, then that conversation with the seller will change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or if it does affect it, it'll change as well. So I think that'll be interesting. I mean, my conversations yesterday were about, do we offer comp? Do we not? And, I'm a big believer you should, and here's the reasons why, and here's other people that are doing it in your neighborhood, and here's the results. So do you really want to risk it? So it will be interesting.
Well, like,
I'll have a good case study to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So, like, you brought up a really good point that the market will always figure it out. So whether a seller is offering to pay the buyer's agent, or the buyer's agent's asking for too much, or whatever, the market always figures it out. So it's going to get wild for a little bit, but fast forward a year from now, we'll be fine. Because like all the mortgage changes that happened in 2008, 2010, everyone was thinking it was the end of the world. 90 days later, we were fine. So, but some positive changes that we were seeing is since the last time that we had our live stream, we have actually gotten a couple of updates. Now, the biggest thing that's causing the issues inside of real estate is there's just not enough homes. We are so underbuilt. So Columbus, and once again, God love them, they're doing such a great job of putting us on the forefront and keeping us, keeping the knife sharp. So one of the biggest hindrances was zoning. So we have typically been a rural city until just the last couple of years. So that means that lots are big, people are spreading out. But what's required now is the lot sizes need to get smaller. So in this article from Columbus Underground, we're seeing that zoning is being updated for like the first time in 60, 70 years. And as a result, we're going to get 88,000 new housing units. And I wasn't able to pull out when that timeline is, but this is a great step in the right direction. So what do you guys think?
I have a lot of thoughts around this. I think this is really good. Yeah, I do, but this is really good for renters. It also came out this year. This is the first time in a long time that it's actually more affordable to rent than it is to own. So we're seeing that, just mortgage with the mortgage rates, it's just more expensive to carry a mortgage than to lease somewhere. And a lot of you read comment sections all the time in the dispatch and about real estate, and a lot of the tenants, they just said like it is becoming unaffordable, to rent, even though it's supposed to be rent even cheaper right now than it is to own. So with more inventory, I think that will alleviate some of the pricing when it comes to renting, especially near downtown, because it's gotten so expensive, and there's just so many unhappy people out there. And again, inflation has so much to do with this. I think everybody's cost of living right now just feels they're getting squeezed, and you have to have a roof over your head, and that's the most important thing for most people. So hopefully, with all this development underway, I always thought can it ever get too saturated with apartments, because we built so many apartments in the past 10 years, and come to find out we need a lot more.
Yeah, I'm still not pessimistic, but we'll see if this actually all comes to fruition, right? There's always roadblocks, there's always things that'll change, there's the economy, there's all these factors, but it is good to see that after probably decades of developers and builders beating on the walls of City Hall to change this stuff, that they are going to start changing it. So now we'll see if builders and developers want to dip their toe into this. A lot of people got burnt back in the day, when they built all these, there was a ton of builders and they got burnt when the Great Recession happened and all those things. So we'll see. And another thing I saw the other day that I thought was interesting is in 2024, it is 26% more costly to own a home than it was in 2020. That takes in maintenance, all that stuff, right? Insurance. And so like you said, a lot of this stuff is going to be good for renters because they need to rent. They're not going to be able to afford to buy. And then it goes back into our conversation of if more inventory comes up, people need to sell, but there's not enough buyers all of a sudden. We'll see how this plays out. It could all kind of be a domino effect.
Yeah. 3 of my next 3 listings, they're all going from owning to renting. And it's not
What's
so much,
the reason?
they're not without getting into too many details, it's not too financially driven. There's life events that happen to them. They just decided for the foreseeable near term, they want to rent, they don't want to buy. And can't blame them. We looked at both options, and I think for them, their best option really is to rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mature, because most people, once they're homeowners, they want to stay homeowners because of that
Correct.
tag, that pride of being a homeowner. So you don't hear about that often.
I was going to say that's
one of them. They're getting good.
No, I was going to say I've never heard of people choosing to sell to go to rent unless they were relocating, and that was what I'm saying, but to stay here and to just rent, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that's going to keep happening after you
No, just the 2 of them are more kind of partnership breakups type things. The other one's we're retired, we're downsizing, we're buying an RV, or just traveling the country. And so I love that. So kind of jealous.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the van down by the river lifestyle once our kids are out of the house.
Yeah.
So one of the other big changes that we're having is we're seeing a lot more high-rise development that's starting to come online. Once again, Columbus is really looking for ways to add housing units. So there's an update. They just started planning this not that long ago, but they're already revising this tower that's also going to be a mix of residential units and office space as well. So generally where it's going to be is the Rich. So this is Rich Street. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Rich Street here, and then Front Street here. So it is going to add a significant amount of height to that area, because you can see there's really not much on the way of tall stuff in that area. So it's going to be a nice little, I wouldn't call it an eyesore, but it's going to be right next to Gravity. It's going to be a nice little add to that area. Are you guys familiar with this area?
Oh yeah,
I am.
Yeah. Well, I think what's interesting, and it's the insiders probably know that more than all of us, is with obviously this being done. There's so many other projects that are going on. You're also starting to see like really high end restaurants open up downtown. That a lot of restaurants didn't survive downtown. Like there was a lot of like really nice steakhouses and stuff, and then they left. Now you've got Butcher and Rose down there. You've got Hanks, and those places. I mean, you're talking about that's like a Jeff Ruby's bill every time you go there. So those people must know obviously that we need that type of stuff for the people that are potentially going to be moving here, and then that goes along with these buildings being built as well.
You know why, Brad? It's because every time I have people in town, I want to go out to eat, and I don't call ahead like a week ahead like normal people to plan things. I call the day of, and I call around, and everybody is booked. Nobody has reservations. We're sorry. You could get takeout. I'm like, man, I don't feel like it ever used to be that way, but more and more so. Like, you better have a reservation. Yep. You want to go anywhere nice.
For sure.
Yeah, so bring in more restaurants.
Well, I mean, there's so many surface lots down there too that like could just be built on. Now the parking, obviously, you'll see, but like
surface lot capital USA, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got the most surface lots of any downtown urban core I've ever seen.
But next time you're downtown, just drive up, like drive the grid and count the surface lots. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Come to Columbus, plenty of parking. Plenty of parking.
I mean, just looking at this screenshot right here, I can count 10 just what's on the frame right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. The people that own the surface lots, like making money, just making
no doubt.
Tons of money.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I went to the Crew game this week, and why aren't there more high-rise like parking? Because that seems like a more efficient way of handling just a flat surface lot.
Well, it probably costs a lot of money to build those. I don't know. I mean, if you're just a sole operator of that little parking lot, I don't know what funds they have to build, 3-4 story parking deck, but it must be working for them. It must be like, on every surface lot downtown, and they're holding firm and taking up the prime real estate.
Well, the one thing that Columbus has not been short on here recently is funds to develop new projects. So a couple of episodes ago, we talked about the mayor's updated budget for this year and his projections. And a lot of that money came from leftover COVID funds. It's kind of a use it or lose it kind of thing. So they're reallocating those things. And you kind of see here how those funds are going to be allocated for these projects. So you're seeing public service, you're seeing utility, development, recreation and parks. I mean, a ton of recreation and parks. So, I mean, as far as Columbus being an aging city, I think they're taking that very seriously and trying to make sure that we don't have crumbling infrastructure. So I'm glad that those funds are staying here and we're not returning them to the feds. But once again, $34 trillion in debt, I'm sure this is just a drop in the bucket compared to what we're looking at on a national level.
Yeah, that was a gift. Can't get back. We need that money.
Yep. All right, so another big news is we have the state fair that is coming up. When was the last time you guys went to the state fair?
10 years ago?
10 years ago.
Yeah. Guys, if you remember correctly in our video, I said one thing that I've never done is been to the fair.
That's right.
Oh,
this is your year, Brad.
Yeah, buddy. This is your year.
Should I go? Should I do it?
Yes, you need to go. Go check in with us on the show. Tell us what you found.
Do you think that like maybe the three of us should just go? And we could we could just go hang, have a boys' day. I don't know if my 7-month-old pregnant wife, is going to want to trek around the fair. Maybe I'll have to bring her some food, but she likes fair food.
I will eat my weight in fair food.
Yeah, I might need a bypass after that because typically I love the fair fries, especially when they come in the buckets that are like this big. You you're just
Yeah.
trough style eating them. Oh, I love that stuff. They're dripping with grease. There's nothing better. But you always come back and you need a shower after you leave.
I think we should all three go. Let's do it. Let's get it on the books.
All right, we're going.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm down. We're
All
going.
right, you heard it here first. We're going to be reporting live on Life in Columbus from the State Fair here coming soon. No idea how we'll pull this off, but stay tuned.
And the Franklin County Fair is this weekend too. So I'm actually going to that, taking my son Archie and my wife and go see the farm animals at the Franklin County Fair. And if you don't know where that's at, that's in Hilliard. Actually never been to our just county fair. So I kind of excited because I love county fairs. We go to Hurt County Fair in Mercer County every year, but this one I've never been to.
So
cool.
Speaking of ignorance, where is the State Fair compared to where is the county fair?
Yeah, so the State Fair is like right near Ohio State's campus. You could, like right off in between 11th Avenue and 17th. And then the Franklin County Fair is just past Old Hilliard. So if you go down Main Street in Hilliard, kind of into it at the very end of Main Street down in Hilliard.
Gonna have to take Sloan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take Sloan. She's never like even been around like real animals like that before, besides a dog. So.
And you guys are suburbanites, jeez.
Yeah, man. I've
what is
kept
that?
her sheltered for too long.
Yeah.
That's a go-to.
She just knows horses and sheep from Miss Rachel. You know, that's where she gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And take lots of pictures. All right. Well, it feels good to be back on the horse. We took a couple weeks off, personal reasons, vacations, and such. So thank you guys for watching Life in Columbus. Once again, we're always looking for ideas and topics for us to talk about. So, gentlemen, is there anything you guys wanted to add before we sign off for today?
I saw a couple of comments pop up. Anything good there? Yeah.
Let me see here. So Michael Metz and Michael and I used to work together at Dominion Homes way back in the day when I first started. So he commented on the parking structures that we're talking about maybe about 2-3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone would know about this stuff, it's Michael. He's a smart guy. Miss talking to him, but no, this is good right here, and it kind of answers the thing that I brought up. So thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it's the parking, and so they don't have now. Developers don't have. Is it zero parking? Do they have zero parking requirements? Is that what I read?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? They don't. There's no parking requirements for developments now.
Yeah, and that really held back people from being able to do anything with developing more mid-rises, high-rises, because the zoning code required X amount of parking spaces, and I think they're just totally removing that, which a lot of cities have done. It's not like something like what is so dumb. I know a lot of other cities have totally removed parking regulations.
So why would they do this? Explain to me like I'm a fifth grader because it's not connecting. Why would they remove it?
It's okay. Yeah, so they have to incentivize. I mean, they're still trying to incentivize more units and density to be built. And they realize that, like, if you require parking, that's a lot of people actually don't own cars who'd be living in those buildings. So they're just letting the market dictate. If you want to live there, you're not going to have access to parking, but there's a high enough demand that people raise their hands and say, yeah, I'll live there without parking. So I think they're going to go ahead and allow it. But I think with other service lots and monthly parking, if you needed to park nearby, you still have that ability to park nearby. But we really need more transit to make it more feasible to want to live downtown. I mean, it's not really a walkable city, which ironically I'm doing a video today about most walkable neighborhoods in Columbus, but I digress. But yeah, I think COTA is like, they're adding more buses, like electric vehicles, and that's great and everything. But if they're still just COTA buses, I don't know if it's really going to attract people to use more COTA buses.
Well, that was my question. It's like, okay, so are we to the point yet in Columbus to where we are a only public transport, no need for private? It doesn't seem like we're there yet because most everyone that I know
close.
lives.
Yeah, we got. I think we got a long ways for that.
Okay. Well, we're getting there, I suppose. All right, gentlemen. Once again, thanks guys for the comments. See you guys next week. We will be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 10:30 on Fridays, with what is going on in Columbus. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a killer weekend.